G'day and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me for part 2 of the DIY portable USB-C powered filming light. We pick back up making the diffuser here, and again I apologize for having to break this up into 2 videos. It would have just been way too long, and the best I could do was to make it into 2 40-minute-ish long videos. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so before I get into changing the design and printing it all off and then coming back and putting it together, most importantly, the thing we have to do now, because we might run out of time in this video, and I suppose that's the simplest bit, is actually just sticking everything together, but one of the more complicated or bits you have to be precise in is building the what do you call it, diffuser. Now you can see here, this is what I've made it out of. I have 2 templates that will come with the files. This is a very thin one that you'll need to wait for it to dry to take it off, otherwise you'll muck up the geometry of it. And that is for cutting out the laminate after you've laminated it. You are going to need access to a laminator for this, probably your own, because I don't know if anyone else will let you put an oil piece in. But there are other ways you could do this. You could do this with like a piece of Perspex or something like that too. This is just the way I've chosen to do it because I can do it by hand and here, and I kind of like it. Isopropyl alcohol might be usable on Perspex to make it cloudy and suitable for this purpose if you have a thin enough piece of Perspex, acrylic or plexiglass or whatever you want to call it. Apparently ammonia does too. I have heard mention that the alcohols can lead to cracking, but I haven't seen that with the ammonia, so that may be a good option for that. Yeah, if you try that and it works out, let me know. I keep my eye out for a bit of you know, waste plexi, and see if I can't try a few experiments, and if I do, I'll make a video of it, let you know. So that is what you're going to use to cut that out, but that will come later, so we'll put that to the side for now. First things first is you've got to cut your piece of paper, and as you can see here, this is how I cut my last one. Let's get that done. Here is the piece of paper, and you want to come along, you could do it at the side if you want, and tape that down so it's not going to move. That's really important. If it moves, it's going to mess up your stencil. Tape it down. Anywhere is fine. Okay, so that's taped down there. And get your sharpest knife, which is probably not the one you use all the time. So we can get an exceedingly sharp blade out of here. And because these are covered with oil, be really careful not to cut yourself. Highly important that you don't get blood on the paper, otherwise it will show later. And take your extremely sharp blade and run from one corner to the other, as far into that corner. You come in like at that angle there, and just, it doesn't matter if you cut off a little bit of that plastic as you do it, that's absolutely fine. Oop, unless you come up like that, you bugger. So then you'll also need to just really carefully come into your corners and slice in those corners until they come free. And I highly recommend not using your left hand for this job. And okay, so cutting to come off eventually. Just keep working those edges until it comes free. Okay, I think we're getting there. Boom. So that's that one bit where it raised up, which is a bit annoying. You can fix that pretty simply. Grab your ruler, come along, trim it off. And there you go, there's your square for your diffuser. To diffuse it. See, it's quite an opaque thing. Doesn't really work. quite opaque, and that's why you need the oil. Also needs to be clean as possible. Put that to one side there. So, to do the oil, this you're going to need a sheet of something you can like. I have these that need to be recycled for something, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to get the oil that I chose to use for this in the end, and show you something that caught me out, almost caught me out. So here is the oil I used, but if I bring it up here, you can see this in the bottom. That was a tip gun. You see that in the bottom? So that can cause you problems. I'm going to use it anyway in the hope that some will come out and then I can show you how to remove it. But you want to have a non-porous surface that's nice and flat. Move the oil I'm not going to use away. So to do this job then, you've got our square here. You're going to put it down in the middle of the page, non-porous surface. And we're going to use a little bit of a card to wipe it off as we go. So we get our oil and we just pour it on. It's just let it goop out a bit. Now the reason I'm being so careful with this surface here and getting none underneath is because I really want to make sure that I get no oil whatsoever on the outside of the laminate. That is critical. If you get oil on the outside of the laminate, you'll get oil on your laminating roller, on your laminator's rollers, and you're gonna have a bad time. Oh yeah, we got some of that out of it. Look at that. Ew. And so there you can see, just at the corner of this, you can see there is that horrible, horrible stuff. It's all right, we'll just keep going for a moment. Okay. Just like with the frying pan, give it a little bit of tilt to get it to go where you want. There's a little bit of surface tension that can hold it onto the paper. And if you're good with it, it will be nice to use and not run everywhere until you want it to. That goes into that corner almost completely, and then that down the bottom. And there you go, that's pure covered. Now I've got all that oil there, the excess oil. I've also got a bunch of this like particulate that's settled out of the oil. I don't want that there, so I'm going to come along with my nice flat sheet and I'm just going to spread that off. Get rid of it. Grab a rag and soak it up. Put that in the bin. Get rid of that excess there. Go into that oily rag pile. And so now you've got this piece of paper that's been soaked in oil. Just going to make sure it's a very nice, even, consistent application. And you need to take this and put it into your piece of perspex, which is down here. Now I need to move this, pick it up with the tweezers and place it in the perspex. I can't film all of that at once in the space I have here because I'm a messy bugger, and that means I'm going to have to find my tweezers, pick it up from behind me probably, bring it around and put it on the thing in front of me. So let's just get set up. Okay, here we are. Make sure there's no oil on your hands. Open up the laminate and bring it back. Now, I'm going to take the tweezers, pick it up real careful, and I just want to come in here and put it down as equally as carefully. I don't want to move it after I put it down. I just want to put it down, bring the top over in a way that hopefully gets all the air out, and then we'll laminate it. This bit's a bit finicky. If you're having trouble actually getting it, get the edge and bring it up, and it'll make a lip you can grab. have it. Now, these. And plop. You can see how air has been, tiny bit of air has been trapped. This is where we go back to the lovely disposable recycled cards. And actually no, we don't. Whoop. Piss that off. Where's that gone? So we come in here again, we gotta lip it so we can get it, bring it up. And then put it down again. So there's no air. That'll come on out. Okay. So it's about as good as that's going to get. And basically for the top, you want to come along, grab it and roll it in. You'll see that it's really hard to get a shot of this, but kind of want to just like drop it on first. You see it's going to form some bubbles. This is a bit annoying. You're going to have to fix that. But this will get you this will allow it to stick quicker when you come back down. So bring it across and then whoop, maybe finger. Card. It's a bit like putting on a decal across with the card and just a little bit of pressure, move across. Almost, kind of stuffed it at the end. Bit in my arm. Why am I getting an air bubble there? Oh, there's like a thing. There's a thing somewhere here on one of these sides. It's something very annoying. It's still there. That's super annoying. Come on, pick it up. You're supposed to. It's like right there. Hopefully it's on my finger. Start again. Okay. Come on in. Nice little bit of pressure. And just push across. No, it's there still. God damn it. Alright, I swear to God, that's so annoying. This is why you have to make sure you... Okay. If I keep going, I'm going to stuff this up. This is why you have to make sure your laminate is extremely clean, like even a speck of dust. I did this for the other one in that room in there, not even in here where there's shit galore. And as you can see, the effect of having just a little bit of shit in there. Very frustrating. Okay, last attempt. I think that's it there. Hella high water, we're running with this one. Run with it, brother. Take it and run. Right. Whoop. Right next to the drawer they come out of. Okay, now this has to be run through the laminator. I'm sure most of you probably used the laminator. Same as doing anything else. Just take it, with the end that's closed and feed it in. You want to make sure it's nice and flat as it goes in, just to make sure it doesn't pull or change the dynamics and increase your diffuser in any way. I'll do that, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so that's been through the laminator, and I put it through this way, then this way, then this way, and then this way at 80 degrees, or 80 centimeters a minute. I don't know, it just says 80. It's hard to tell. Lowest setting. Honestly. Right. So we put that to the side, that to the side. Now we have to cut this out. And this is a bit of a finicky one. But you can just do this and use the original template. Yeah, I think you're much better off getting this lined up. Excuse my head. It should be just ever so slightly bigger. Right, and then taping. So pick up your piece and have a look. And yeah, that looks good. So just have a look, make sure that you're all up at the edges. Then grab that blade and cut. Be very careful of your fingers. They are for fingering, not for cutting. Like so. Oh, and go completely askew. Now, why aren't we getting free? Free up that side. Free up there. No, not free at last. That should free it up. So yeah, don't need this anymore. Of course, if you're going to make two of these or something like that, you could just do it in the middle. The hell? Oh, get out of here, you. Get out of here. Nobody wants you. Right, so that's there like that. And now you can come along the other side and do the opposite. So you're probably better off just maybe even just clamping it down. But you see, you only really want to take off a couple of mils on each side. So just come along, run down like that. Whoa, watch your fingers. See, I came off, but it really isn't that important as long as you've got a nice bit of tab on the side of this. And it's just to ensure that it is inside and not going to interfere with your stuff. Oh, that was disgusting. I probably should make this a bigger stencil, but it's really quite an unimportant part. Okay, so bring that like that, then get your ruler and just sort of finish it off. Okay, so there you go. That is your diffuser. Just got to get rid of this tape. And that is it. Done. That's all there is to it. And oops. You see, it fits over the lights nicely. And I'll show you how you put that in place when it comes to assembly. On that note, I'm going to be back in some different clothes because I got to do some design work and then spend about a day printing this off. See you then. All right, so I've gotten all of this ready, the wires on here, and tinned that up, and that's all happy and ready to go. And I've got most of the prints done. The one thing I'm still doing now is the arm, but I've got the back plate here, which the board will go into. So I'll show you that now. So that will just press fit in there. Actually fits nice and snug. And then that will go in there, but we'll get to that in a moment. We need to put some double-sided tape on that and connect the wires the right length and all of that, and also secure these wires here. Before we do that, we've got to put the diffuser onto the front plate, and that's just done with a little bit of hot glue and then it's sort of press fit at the top and bottom along here and here. So let's get into it. I'm going to use a little bit of tape on this side here, put some hot glue here, stick that down in a much more careful fashion, and then rinse and repeat for the other side. Take that, put that on there like so, and then we're nice and focused. And then hold that tape up. I'm gonna have to get my head away for a moment just to align this. It's not quite perfect. I'm gonna keep going at this. You'll want to go until you're happy with it, basically. So I'll keep going to this at this and come back when I'm happy with it. Okay, I'm more or less happy with that. That's gonna have to do. I just don't have the time to keep going, and the video is getting super long. Basically, what I'm gonna do is just like a couple of dabs. So I'll fold it right back. It's a couple of dabs and quickly bring it down, and then line it up in position as I'm smushing it. Don't forget, if you get hot glue on your skin, rub it off quickly and it will not burn. If you leave it there, it's gonna have time to soak the heat into your skin and burn you. You have to quickly rub and get it off. You can glue yourself to stuff with hot glue. Isopropyl alcohol, save you from being stuck there, won't save you from burns. Okay, and come on, gun. Right, that's heaps. And just bring that down, pick it up, make sure you're happy with it before it gets completely dry. And you can smudge it around just a tiny bit. That is that side done. Now come along and do this side here. Put another dab on. Take that off. You'll have to scratch it away from this flat area here. And you could go around and do that all the way around. In my testing, the device has only gotten up to about 40 something degrees. It hasn't gotten up to the temperature where this will release. And that was on a bloody hot day. It was sitting in the shade, so it was probably around like the 32 mark temperature for it. But yeah, it was a hot day. The bricks around me, the concrete around me, were 60, and that's Celsius. Anyway, right. Yeah, people go around wearing no shoes. Can you believe me? Okay, so that's like that. Now we've got a few holes to poke in some plastic, here, and here, as well as correspondingly here, and here. We've also got to secure this down here, which is probably a bit of hot snot for that. Actually, no, we're not going to use hot snot for that. I'm going to go back to my good old silicone conformal coating to secure those wires onto the heatsink. I'm going to back that up with a couple of drops of electrical liquid electrical tape. Right, now we've got to stick this down and attach the wires to it. So, soldering iron on extremely sticky tape. Check. So that's going to sit in there like that. It actually sort of sits slightly like that, and the other side of this bit here will go on top to push it down, and it'll be held in place. Little solder ball there. Just there. Go away. You're gonna ruin my day. Thank you. Okay. So those are on. Connection's good. Now when you're putting this in, you do want to be careful that it's far enough forward. So you're going to be gluing it from the back. You really want to sort of ram that front in there and then push it down. And that's so that this USB-C is sitting in that gap properly, and it'll line up nicely when you put it all together. And then it comes to gluing these wires down. Dump a bit of hot glue in there. Hold that down. Now, you see how there's this recess here? There is actually a bit on the top that fits in there. and has something in it at the moment. What the hell's that? So that fits in there, just above here. That's there to keep these wires separate if they ever break off, and to stop them slipping around. It's just an extra safety measure. It may not be 100%, but it should help. And now we're going to take a nail and poke through all of these and do the same to our top. Okay. So then we want to get out the 3mm screws. You can use Phillips, you can use hex. I'm going to be using some of these hex here. They're M3 by 8. 4 of them. Yeah, these are too short. Yes. Right, so it was the M3 by 10 that I needed to use, and I'm a clot, and I need more sleep, and I apologize for wasting some of your time today with my mistakes, but at least I hope you got a laugh out of them. I probably will after I have finished editing everything. Maybe. Or I'll hit myself more. One of the two things. Okay, right, now we've got those screws in there, and we got the M3 by 10s this time. Yes. You can have a little bit of them extend past, like as you see here, and it'll fit into those holes quite nicely. Just sort of line it up. Somewhere. There we go. Start with one corner. I don't know how, depends on how strong your grip is, but that's kind of like my plastic thread not pulling technique. Okay. At least you're happy with how that's interfaced over here. A tiny bit of a gap in it. I just have to come in and out again with the screw. And I have to put the other ones in over here as well. So I will get on with that. So you'll probably find that you have to drill these 3 points out here. For that, you're going to need a 1.5mm drill bit, and yep, like a clot. So this is my 1.6mm tool bit holder for this tool. There you go. So yes, come along and just vertically, boom, 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 drill these. Alrighty, so let's wrap this up. I've chucked those 3 in there. One thing I just will point out is it might help you get, can I get it to, do you see there's a slight gap here as opposed to here? That's because the material has been pushed out and has become wedged between the 2 plates. Just take the screw out, take them all out, and get it out of there, and then put them back in, and you'll get it nice and tight like that is there. But moving on to putting on the hinge. I thought about putting some some washers, not these ones, but 2mm ones. I don't want to sort of kick this out, and I kind of like this, how it sort of favors not coming forward a bit. Goes back a bit easier. I designed that with the clearances to go back a bit easier, and the back's got a bit more clearance in the front. I kind of like that. It means it, durability test. It means it stays thinner easier. So there is that. I could actually maybe even do a, did we do a slight mark there? Oh, there's a slight mark on the, I don't even know if you can see that. But yeah, that's very, very, very little on it. So this catches a bit better or more onto the frame, but I quite like how that is. Anyway, let's get this on and done and turned on. Okay? That's quite warm by the time it comes through. All right, so I've put those through here like this, and I'm gonna now just run my drill bit into there to make sure I've got a nice clear hole. Again, they're 2mm screws, these, 2 by, is it 16? And a 1.6mm drill bit. So that should get them nice and clear for me. Now it's just a matter of lining it up, holding it in place, and threading it in. And just pause as you go in, don't sort of ram it all the way home, because that will really heat up. Oh man, there's some tuning needed on the printer. That will really heat up and melt your hole, and you'll have a bad time. So just run them in, swap over, go back to the original one. Oops. This one I'm going to have to back out. And there you go. Right, I'll go grab power. There we go. I would also recommend you get a right-angled USB-C for this kind of stuff. It is quite nice, but you can use, that's why I lifted up this gap so much, so you can use a straight one. Here we go. And I will try to watch your eyes on the other camera. Boop. 10 out of 10, eh? Or is that 1,010%? Yeah, cool. There you go. She's done. Now I have two of them. I think I did a better job on this one with the placement of the diffuser. Anyway, there you go. Links are down below to the 3D prints. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video or have any comments or whatever, yeah, like and subscribe, leave the comments. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you make it, please let me know. I would love to see you know, that kind of thing, and hear what you thought of the design and using it. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.